Good day, everyone. Welcome you to my channel once again. This is Dr. Festus, and today I want to talk about how to do an image classification, land use and land cover classification image using QGIS. Land use and land cover is one of those remote sensing analysis. For some of you that may be interested, this is what I intend to share with you today. Thank you very much for joining my channel. Please kindly share the video and then subscribe to the channel and then like the video. Thank you very much. Now, the first thing you need to do before you do the image classification is to download the Landsat satellite images from the Earth Explorer. You can download it from this website, earthexplorer.usgs.gov. I already did a video. You can check my channel. I had a video on how you can download satellite images, Landsat images from this Earth Explorer website. So you can check the video, and then that will help you to be able to now go ahead with this new video on how to classify the images to form your land use and land cover classification. Let me go back to QGIS. Now, this is the QGIS. I want to bring up the satellite images that I've already downloaded. And Landsat images can be of different types. You have Landsat 4 and 5. You have Landsat 7. You have Landsat 8, depending on your location of choice. And then if you search on the website, the ones that's available will be the one that you will download, and then you can use for your satellite image classification. So I want to do this one that I've already downloaded from this Earth Explorer. And so I'll navigate to the folder where I have the satellite images, and then I'll be able to bring up the images and classify them. Now, this is the one I've downloaded for this location. I want to use Landsat 5 for my classification. So I'm going to open up this folder, Landsat 5, and then I'll bring up the bands, the satellite band. There are different satellite bands from band 1, 2, 3, 4. So I want to bring up some of them. So just drag it and drop here. Then drag the second one and drop. Drag the other one and drop. This is band 3. Band 4 also, drop it. Then band 5, I'll also drop band 5. And then band 6 and 7. Even though I may not need all of them, but I just need to bring them up here. So I've already brought about the 7 satellite images onto the QGIS platform. So the next thing to do is for me to do what we call conversion of these satellite images to reflectance. Now, before I do that, if you are using your QGIS for the first time, you may not have this particular plugin that I want to use. This plugin is called Semi-Automatic Classification Plugin. Semi-Automatic Classification Plugin, SCP plugin. It's usually not in the QGIS interface unless you install it yourself. So if you want to install it, you have to go to plugins, see plugins there, click on plugins, and you click manage and install plugins. So here, once you bring up this, you bring up this manage and install plugin, then you can then search SCP. You can see now, Semi-Automatic Classification Plugin. So once you click on it, you can then install. But for me, I've already installed it, so there is no need for me to do that. But for you that you are just using these QGIS for the first time, you have not done image classification before, this plugin is what you need to do your image classification. So let me close this now and then go back to my satellite image. So I want to convert these satellite images to reflectance. So I'm going to go back to SCP. Then I click on band set. Okay. After clicking on band set, the first thing to do is to bring up the bands, the satellite bands in this place. So I'm going to refresh this. Then I will refresh this also. So you can see, immediately I refresh this, all the satellite bands that have been uploaded onto the layer platform were brought up. So I have to now select them one by one. And then after selection, then I'll click this add. So it will now come here and form what you call a band set. So this is what we call band set 1. Now I need to check the wavelength quick settings and change it to, because I'm using Landsat 4 to 5 image, I have to click this one. If you're using Landsat 7, you click Landsat 7. If it's Landsat 8, you click Landsat 8. So I have to click Landsat 4 to 5, all right? And then I have to make sure that the wavelength is in micrometer. So just leave it like that. And then the next thing to do, like I said, is to now convert these satellite images, the bands, into reflectance. So I have to go back to the left-hand side there. You can see my arrow, my cursor, then my mouse rather. So you can then click on pre-processing. Just click on pre-processing, and then you now select there are different satellites here. But because we are using Landsat, we have to click on Landsat. So click on Landsat. Now click on Landsat. Then Landsat you now come back and say directory containing Landsat bands. You have to select the directory, the folder that has the Landsat images that you have already downloaded. So just navigate here, and then it takes me to the folder. This is the folder that I have. So just select the folder that has the Landsat images directly. So this is my folder L5. So I then click that. You can see the QGIS was able to bring up all the bands there. The next thing is to select what you call MTL file. MTL file is also in the same folder where you have these satellite images, which you downloaded from the Earth Explorer. So navigate also. You can see this is the MTL file. So just click on MTL and then click open. And the next thing to do, just click run. Just click run. Don't click on any other thing. So once you click run, it will ask you to save these reflectance into a folder. So I need to create a new folder here. Let me just say RF, okay? All right, so I'm saving it into this RF folder, select folder, and then QGIS will run the analysis and convert the bands to reflectance. And then after it is done, it's going to bring it up, and then for me to continue with the rest of the image classification. All right, so it's already going on. All right, I think it's almost done. Just about 1 minute. Okay, so please, this is very, very important in satellite image classification. You need to make sure you follow these steps sequentially to be able to get the desired result. All right, so it is done. So I can close this. So I just close this. All right. Oh, okay, it's still running. Okay, just let's give it some few minutes for it to complete. Sometimes it could take few minutes, but if you have a good computer, it will not take long. So once again, please subscribe to my channel and share the video and like the video. So let's give it 1 minute for it to do. Okay, so it is done now. So it has converted all the satellite bands to reflectance band. So you can see all of them, RT, RT, RT. is indicated on each of the bands. So now we can remove all these other bands that the original bands that we use. So I'll just highlight all of them and then remove them from this table of content, and then I can then work with the other ones. So then remove, just click remove layer, and then it will remove all the original bands. So I have the bands that have been converted now. Now, you can see this area of coverage is more than what I am interested in. So what I need to do is to clip this, my area of concern, my area of interest, okay, to these satellite bands. I'm interested in a very small forest. I want to do the land use and land cover classification of a small forest. Okay, so I don't need this entire band. I just need to bring up my area of study. So I need to bring up the shapefile of the area of study. So I have to go now to layer, okay, then add layer, add vector layer, add vector layer. You still remember how to do this. Then navigate to the folder having the layer, right? So, okay, this is the area that I'm interested in. The boundary shapefile, okay? So click OK, all right. Then click Add and Close. All right, so my area of interest is here. So what I need to do now is to begin to clip or extract. I need to clip or extract this area of study, okay? And to do that, I have to go to what we call raster, okay? Come to raster, then click extraction and click on clip raster by mask layer. All right, so I want to extract the area of study from this. So I click clip raster by mask layer. All right, so the input layer will now become, so I need to clip each of the band. I have to bring each of the band out. So I want to start with band 1, click on band 1. The boundary, the mask layer is the boundary shapefile. So I leave it like as it is. And then the other ones, leave it as it is, and then click run. Okay, that is done already. You can see it's showing here clip mask. So I need to rename it as band 1 so that it will not mix up. So right click on it and then go to rename. So I want to rename it now as L5 bar BND1. L5BND1. All right, that stands for band 1. Lancet 5 band 1. Then click anywhere here. Then go back to raster again and do for all of them. Extraction, clip and mask layer. All right. Okay, so clip the other one too. So change this one to raster 2, band 2. You can see B2 here, band 2. All right, so select the mask layer, okay, and then click run. So it's done. You can see it here also. So you have to change it, rename it as make a uniform name, L5 BND. It will now be 2. Then click anywhere outside and then go again. So do that for all the bands that you are interested in. Now, I want to say this quickly. If you are working with Landsat 5 and you want to do a land use and land cover classification, the 3, particularly if it's for vegetation, maybe you're interested in showing the vegetation of the area, the bands that you will use most likely are the bands 4, 3, and 2. Band 4, band 3, and band 2. So you are not likely to use band 1 or band 5 or band 6 or band 7 if you are interested in vegetation and some other features that will bring up the vegetation of the area. Now, if you are interested in, if you are using Landsat 8, okay, you will also make use of this set of bands, band 5 and band 4 and band 3. That's 543. So it's only band Landsat 5 and Landsat 7 that you may need band 432 for your classification. All right. So now let me not to waste our time. I will just clip only the bands that I'm interested in. I want to go to band 3 now. Band 3. So remember, I'm using Landsat 4, and 5. So I have to use band 432. So let me go to band 3 now. Band 3. All right. Let's select the clip for the boundary shapefile and click run. All right, it's done. So I can close this. I have to rename it. Excuse me. As that's L5 BND3. Okay. So the next one now is band 4. Band 4. So I have to change this also to band 4. All right. Mask layer, the shapefile, then run. Okay. So I'll close this and I will rename this as L5 BND4. Okay. All right. So the other ones, I may even remove them from this QGIS interface because I don't need them. So let me just remove this. Remove layer. Remove layer. Let me remove this also. I'm not using this. Remove layer. Remove layer. This one too, I'll remove it. Remove layer. All right, I'll just highlight all of them together and remove them. So remove layer. So now I have my band 4, 3, and 2. That even this band 1, I don't need it. So let me remove this one also. Yes. So even though I've already extracted what I can remove it. I don't need band 1. I only need band 4, 3, and 2. All right. So let's go back to. Oh, okay. This one has not gone. I have to remove this also. Remove layer. Good. So you can see my study area is looking like this. So I have to bring it up to a full extent. So just right click on any of the bands and click on zoom to layer. All right, this is my my study location. And so what is next for me now is to form what you call a composite, to bring the 3 bands together and form a composite image as one. Instead of having 3 bands, you can have one image that has, combine the 3 bands together to give me the features that I'm interested in, which is the land use and land cover features. All right, so I'll go back to SCP, this plugin, click on the band set. We have to change this band set because we have removed the bands. Okay, we only have few bands there, so we have to bring up the new set of bands. So to do this, first close this, band set 2, close it, but we don't need it. Then this one, you need to do what you need to clear off all the bands that are here. So come to this place, click reset. So click OK. Then these ones, you need to click reload. All right, so just click refresh. All right, so you can see when you click that, the 3 bands that are remaining in the QGIS interface have now come up. So you can then select the 3 bands and click add. So it's added to this band set definition, and it has now formed our band set 1. Okay, so next thing to do is just close this. We don't need this now. Just close the plugin and then come here. That is something here that can give you this composite color, composite image that you are interested in. So this RGB, we have 3 different bands: red, green, blue. Okay, so now I will now form the combination set that I'm interested in. Like I said, if you are working with Landsat 4 and 5, you need to use band 432. So I'll click on band 432. If it is not in your own QGIS, you can just type here, just type 4, 3, and put -2. And once you do that, just click anywhere outside. All right, just click anywhere. You can see it has formed what we call a virtual band set 1, which is what you will now use for your image classification. Okay, so this is what we call a false color image, which we need to give definition. We need to define what each of these images represent. Okay, if it represents forest, it represents open land, if it represents maybe a settlement, urban settlement, or whatever, depending on the location you're interested in. But because this is a forest that I'm working on, most likely what I'm going to see here will be the features that I may likely find here will just be forest and probably some open land. Okay, and it's also important if you are doing land use and land cover classification to also make sure that you are familiar with the ground truth information, ground truth reality. That means the location that you are trying to classify using remote sensing images, satellite images, you need to also get to know how the location looks like originally, so that will help you when you are doing your classification. All right. So now let's now go to the classification of the images. There is something we call SCP doc. This SCP doc is usually open beside the table of content. If you don't have it in your home, just go to view, then scroll down to panel, then you now select SCP doc. Remember, the SCP is the one we are using for our classification, that plugin. So just click, if you click on this, it will automatically be found close to your layers or table of content. So I'll just click here, SCP doc. So after click SCP dot, then you now go to what you call training input. Click on training input. After clicking on training input, you come here and open a new training input. So click on a new training input. This is going to come up and ask you to give it a file name. All right. So I'm going to do that now okay. So I'm going to give it a file name. Let's say NNFR. Right. Okay, let me just put it here. Then click open. All right. So just let me name it as training. Name it as training. Training, and then click save. All right. So it is done. So the next thing is to do is to now begin to check each feature one by one and then do the classification. Now, come down here, you'll see what you call MCID. MCID is the classification, the macro class ID. Macro class ID. So usually the first one will be 1. Then you give it a name. Like for example, I want to start with a forest, dense forest. So I'm going to type dense forest here. Then what to have under it is the class ID. The class ID, the other one is macro class. This one is the class ID. So the class ID, that means how many of these dense forests can you see here? Do you understand now? How many of the dense forests can you see in your image? So you can just click, then just give it the same name. I make it dense forest also. If you like, you can give it another name. If you want to, maybe dense forest 1 or dense forest 2 or whatever. So now, after giving it a name, the next thing is to now come up here and see create a ROI polygon. So click on create the ROI polygon, and then you can zoom your mouse to the image, directly on the image that you want to pick your features from. Now, this usually for me, these dark images. Now, usually when you have a red color on your land use and land cover Landsat image, the red color usually represents vegetation. Now, how deep the color is tells you how dense or how thick the vegetation is. So for me, since I'm working with a forest, this darker part of it represents the dense forest. So I'll just pick 1 or 2 points here. Okay, right? So once you pick the polygon, you right click and then to form a shape like this. And then after you have done that, then you come back to the SCP doc and click on Save Temporary ROI to Training Input. So click on this Save. So it will save it now. Okay. And after it save it, it's going to form that it's still saving. Just give it some few minutes to save. So, all right, it's done. Okay, so I've told the computer that this dark portion represents the dense forest. Okay. All right. So if you want to pick another point to show that another point of the dense forest, just you can see another point here, this dark part. So I can still create another polygon. All right. So just click on it. And right click. All right. So I'll come back here and give it dense forest 2. Okay. And then I click on save the signature. So it's going to save the signature, and then and that will be done for the dense forest. So after that, it's still saving. Okay, now it's done. So after that, the next thing is to pick another feature on this image. Okay, so I'm going to now zoom back. Okay, I'll zoom back. Let me pick this. I'll zoom back. Now I want to pick the light forest or the moderate forest, the one that is not as dense as this one. So I have to zoom into this one. Okay. All right. So I want to pick these 2 points. Okay. Now, okay. So I will now change this my MCID to 2. MCID 2. All right. And then the class will be 1. MCID 2 because I want to pick another set of features. So I'm going to change this one to moderate forest. Moderate forest. Okay. Moderate forest. So then I'll pick this draw polygon again, and I want to put it here. This place is a bit moderate. All right. So after that, you click save. Okay. Then you pick the second one. This is the second one I want to pick now. All right. Okay. So this is the second one. Okay. So after picking the second one, I have to change the name, moderate forest 2. The class ID is 2. Okay. All right. So then click save. So it will save it now. Now I'm done with this. The next thing is to pick another feature on this image. And another feature that I can see is the one that appear greenish. You can see this feature that appear greenish. They are the open land or open forest or open areas with less vegetation. You can see the red color is not there, it's green color. So mostly it represents areas that have been cleared. Okay, so I'm going to now pick this area that have been cleared. I'll pick one here, I'll pick one here. So just to make it all right. So so I have to change this to macro class 3. Then the class ID is 1. Now change the name to open land. Let's just make it like that. Open land. All right. So I'm going to pick now the great polygon. So this is the open land. Be sure that it doesn't pick any red color because it might create a conflict. So right click. So this is my open land. Then you click save signature. Once I'm done with this, I'll also pick this side, or I can pick this side, anyone, just to at least create about 2 different points for the classification. Okay, so the second one, let me pick it here. All right. So open land 2, then save the signature. So after doing that, the next thing is to change the colors. The exact color that I want it to appear. I want to change the color to form the exact color. So what I will do is to come back here, or before then, let us merge these classes together. You have 2 different classes under the same macro class. So I have to merge them together. So just highlight the one you want to merge. Highlight, press your Control key and highlight the 2. Then come to the left-hand side, you see what we call merge highlighted spectral signature. So click on this. It's asking you, do you want to merge? Say yes. Just click yes. Okay. So it's going to merge them together. That is also going to run as an algorithm. Just 1 minute, it will be done. All right, good. So, so after merging this, you can delete this other one. So I have to highlight again, delete, and then click on delete. You can see this is delete highlighted items. So click on delete, and then that will go. All right. So I have to merge this one again, do the same thing. Merge, yes. So that will also take about 1 minute or a few seconds. All right. So I haven't deleted it. I will now, sorry, I haven't merged. I will now delete the original one. So just press delete and then it will go. All right. Then I will now also merge the last one. And then we're almost done. Okay. So, all right. So then the next thing is to delete. All right. So I'm going to delete now. Okay. Now we need to change the colors to form the exact color. How does a dense forest look like? So just double click on this color and then this will come up. Select a very deep green, click OK. Double click on this again. Select a very deep, click OK. The moderate forest, double click on it. Select a lighter green color. Then click OK. Also a lighter green color, click OK. For the open land, you can pick something red. Okay. To show that it's a depleted forest. All right, so click red. It's a depleted, it was formerly forest, but it's been depleted. So that's very good. So having done this, the next thing is to do, we have already set our training input. What is next now is for us to go back to SCP on the menu bar, come back to SCP, right? And then let's check the band set to be sure we have the correct band set. Yes, good. So let's go back to band processing. You can see band processing is here. So click on band processing. Then you see classification. So we want to classify the image now. So click on classification. Now it's asking us which input band. We have only band 1, so leave it like that. which class do you want to use? You want to use the macro class or the micro class? So let's use the macro class, leave it like that. Every other. Now, this algorithm is very, very important. We have different types of algorithm. Just click on it. You have the minimum distance, maximum likelihood, spectral angle mapping. The most commonly used one is this maximum likelihood algorithm for classification. Some may also use minimum distance, depending on which one you are interested in. So, but let's use maximum likelihood classification. What again? That's all. So let's now click on run. You click on run. After clicking on run, it's going to ask you where do you want to save. So let's save it in a folder like this. Let's say LULC train. All right. So click OK or click save. Once you click save, it's going to run the analysis and then give us the result of our land use and land cover classification. Good. So it is done. So let's close this classification. Let's close this plugin. Close this. Now, let's come back to our layer. So this is the LULC train that we have already classified. So just right click on it and zoom to layer. Good. So this is our LULC classified image. You can see the bands that are there, the different bands, different classes that are there. So we need to remove this unclassified. So just double click on this, double click on it. This will come up under symbology. Then click on this unclassified, which is 0. We don't need it. Then click on delete, remove selected rows. Then click apply and click OK. So this is how to do land use and land cover classification. So this is our LULC for this particular location, this particular forest. We have the dense forest is the deep green color. The moderate forest is a light green part of it, you can see. And then the open land or the depleted forest is this red color, which shows that the forests have been depleted in this part. So this is so you can then prepare your map following how to prepare map from my previous videos. You can bring up this as your land use and land cover map for this particular location. And if you are interested in converting this to know the area of land that is covered by these different classes, the dense forest, the moderate forest, the open land, what are the different area of land, the area of coverage. That is also very possible. And also, you also want to know how accuracy measurement. You want to know how accurate your classification is also very, very possible. So that I will do another video on that. Just watch out for my next video on how to calculate the area of these land use and land cover classes, and also how to form or to calculate the accuracy measurement. That I'll also do together in a single video. So please watch out for my next video. Thank you very much for watching. Kindly subscribe to my channel, like the video, and then share also the video. I'll see you next time. Thank you, and you have a nice day. Bye-bye.